innovation has died. This is the final. I think AI is probably the final frontier of innovation, because think about it. Smartphones and cell phones have been essentially the same thing for the past multiple years, and that we've kind of hit peak until artificial intelligence came along, and it's what's keeping me in this business. Like I said on stream yesterday, personally, I would still believe some of the things that I believe in, make some of the same videos, but not as much, because if it was up to me, I'd be out there, making videos like this with kids, with friends or whatever. I'd be out there, running out on my own missions and making videos and skits like the I'll show you the skit later, the pumpkin patch match dance skits. I mean, doesn't that look like so much fun? But I cannot do that, and the only way for me to become friends with some of these kids is to make some of those videos. So I think that is a fair trade, because it's something that I actually believe in, and it's not something that I'm weaponized for personal or political gain. Like some of these actors that I was reacting to were on stream yesterday. But the other thing is that these people who dislike artificial intelligence don't really realize that this company is built on artificial intelligence out of genuine interest, because this is a tech company, and also out of necessity. Let's look at the statistics for the Tech Boy Media. Matt Walsh has been going on and on about how he dislikes artificial intelligence and how he wants legislation to ban it or something like that, because he didn't like the SOA videos that were populating the internet. Anyway, let's look at the statistics for the Tech Boy Media. Started in 2020 in July, and from July to December, I think we had about 12 articles. And for the rest of the full year, we had so from 2020, half of 2022, the rest of 2021, maybe even into 2022, we had about 30 articles. Now, ChatGPT comes out November 2022, and guess what? We now have an article schedule of... Okay, whatever. We now have an article schedule of 3 articles a week, sometimes even 4 if you don't count if you count some of the videos that we post or some of the reposts of YouTube videos. 3 articles a week, and that has been aided and assisted by artificial intelligence, because now we don't have to actually go in and manually sit there and edit the articles. We don't have to go in and manually sit there and do anything like that. We can just write an article quickly, easily, even on my phone, which has a horribly inaccurate keyboard for some reason, and we can upload it to ChatGPT or Grok or whatever, and you can come back and look how to edit and get it in. And most of those articles are written by yours truly. They're written by me. Now, some of those articles from the newsroom and the press releases, those are obviously written completely by artificial intelligence. So I'm not going to sit there and go read about Samsung's K-pop Demon Hunter press release and go actually give an article care about it. It's just that, for SEO, we need articles, because it is so hard to come up with article ideas nowadays, because everything has been the exact same thing. And obviously, we don't make enough money to go out there and buy, the latest iPhone and go review it and say how trash it is. It's trash. But also, if we want to compete with these people, like we've said, that's why we launched Ava Harper. But if we want to compete with these people genuinely, we can't go out there and go hire a bunch of actors to go do something like the Pumpkin Patch Match Dance. We can't hire a bunch of people to go out there and do what we saw in the Spy Kids skit. We can't hire a bunch of people to go out there and do that. And I know you people are going to be like, oh, you guys, let's go make friends. Just go out there and talk to people. Yeah, that doesn't work like this, okay? It doesn't work, okay? The friends, like I said, are not going to spawn. This isn't Roblox. So what we are going to use artificial intelligence for is to compete against these people. How are we supposed to compete against people who have actual people that we cannot hire? Okay, they have the people advantage, but we have the tech advantage. That's what we do here at the Tech Boy Media. And ever since artificial intelligence has gone on, we have expanded exponentially in our progress. Like I said, only 30 articles over 1.5 years to 180 articles every year, maybe even 200 every year if you count some of the other things that we do, as well as a podcast episode. Since August 2022, we have not missed a week podcast episode. So, I'd say that the advent of artificial intelligence has been a net good for this company. Let's talk about the SSA LTW book. Right, I'm going to turn that into a movie. Maybe want to turn that into a television series. what do we see here? I can obviously not go out there and hire a whole bunch of teen actors. I don't know any kids or teens that would want to be in this movie, and we can't do anything like that. But maybe when this AI video generation technology gets out there, maybe in 2026, we can do this. Because obviously, look, I can't go out there and hire a bunch of teen actors. We have 100. We spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on digital ads across Instagram, Snapchat, the Tomball newspapers, some other high school newspaper, Prosper High School newspaper, and only 2 people have signed up, and I don't even know what state they're in. And when I sent them emails, they didn't even respond. So obviously, the thing is that we have this bubble around us that is preventing us from being great and being able to get out there and meet some of these people. And the only way that we're going to meet some of these people is either we get really, really big, which is why we have to make constant videos every day. Which obviously we can't do that in tech all the time. I mean, the tech industry is simultaneously booming and dying. So, you know, I have to come up with some other topic like that, which is why we've done the, you know, the Christian kind of comedy content. And also artificial intelligence, unless Matt Walsh over here wants to hire a whole bunch of people to work for us, for me for free, we're gonna have to use them to replace it. It's not like I'm using artificial intelligence to replace anybody. I'm using it to replace an editor who I would not have hired in the first place. I'm using it to replace, I guess, a model or a brand representative who I definitely would not have hired or known in the first place. And I'm using it to replace people, hopefully, in a movie, people who have not signed up to be. I mean, if they want to be in the movie, they could have signed up anytime. Okay, it's not like they don't know about this. These videos have gotten thousands and thousands of views. Videos that I have paid good money to blanket the internet with, and they haven't done anything like that. And Matt Walsh's whole take on this is that it's not real. It doesn't have any soul or anything like that. And I think that's what his fundamental disagreement is I don't care if it's real. I care if it's good. If someone can make a great show like Zoe 101 or iCarly or KC Undercover or Antform or whatever with just totally artificially intelligence generated, and it's as good as those shows, then I wouldn't care. First of all, it means that your actors and actresses aren't going to do or say something crazy, and you know you have to write them off the show. They're not going to age out. You can't write them off the show. And you can have the show for as many seasons as you want. You can do what you want, and it doesn't cost as much money. Now you may say, "Oh, it doesn't have the heart behind it. Doesn't have the soul behind it." I don't care about the heart and soul behind a product that I am consuming. I care about, is the product good? Like this Samsung phone here. I'm not sitting around here and thinking about you know, what Samsung was thinking about the environment and the icebergs in Antarctica over here. I've criticized Samsung for this before, but you know, or like that in 2021 when they released the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, and they were going on and on and on about how their phone was the blackest phone that has ever been black in the history of phones, and how the phone had this great deep black color, and they sat around for 7 months thinking about how they were going to build the phone and make it good, and they went to some guy to etc. This whole life story. I do not care about the history of the color on my phone. I just want to know, is it good or is it bad? Now, Apple is a lot worse at this. Okay, they'll tell the entire brand story on why they changed their thing to liquid glass. I don't care. Is it good or is it bad? I don't care about the heart behind the software of the phone. I don't care about the heart behind the hardware of the phone. And the same goes to television. The same goes for an article. The same goes for a book. I don't care about the heart behind the book as long as it's not with evil intent. I care about the book itself, the phone itself. Does it work? That is my one thing. Does it work? Is it good? Is it passable? Yes, and yes. Then I like the book. I like the phone. I like the product or the service. Does it work? Is my motto. Okay. I don't care why it works. I don't care how you made it. I don't really care. Just make sure it works. Make sure it works. Like they say for Apple, it just works. But Apple in their releases to be like, it just works, but I'm going to give you the entire backstory of why and how and when it just works, etc. That's probably one of the reasons why I can't get behind, you know, Linux. And I bet Matt Walsh isn't behind Linux at all. It's just the people in the Linux community are going on and on and on. I don't care. I want Linux to work. I want for when my program installs, I want it to run without having to install whole 50 million dependencies and having to go browse GitHub. It's ridiculous. So, essentially, in a nutshell, here are the reasons why I am for AI. It has exponentially increased my productivity, gone from 30 articles in 1.5 years to 180 articles every year. And it can help me replace people that I do not already have access to. Like I have said multiple times, if I knew these people and I was friends with these people and they were friends with me and we did this, then and they wanted to be in a video, it'd be great. They'd be in videos. Like, maybe replacing them with artificial intelligence avatars, that'd be great. You know, I would, if I knew these people, I wouldn't be spending thousands and thousands of dollars to go on ad hunts to go find these people. You think I'd be running forums on my website for that? No, that's not how this works. Do you think I'd be going out there and making a video every day so that, you know, the Instagram account goes higher and, you know, can meet some of our quote unquote competitors that, you know, I see, well, not secretly, I'm like saying it live on stream here, that I admire. So, you know, competitors to a potential friend, who knows? No, I wouldn't be doing that because I already would have succeeded, which is why I think that some of these people, you know, that's why I think that even despite the bubble of insignificance that surrounds this company, I think that my ambition will help power us through. The people that have already obtained the success through just, I don't know, a few pictures, maybe they got quote unquote lucky or something. You know, they have an easy 6,000 followers, and they, you know, they just have like 4 photos, and they're in the book of Corinthians. Hey guys, and you know, they post one picture and comes into the comments, right? They don't have to really want for anything. They don't have to be ambitious. They don't really have to fight for anything like that. I'm not saying that they're lazy. I'm just saying that their ambition is probably not as high as mine. So, you know, despite the bubble of irrelevance that surrounds this company and keeps me under 100 for some reason, like right now, there's one person watching this podcast right now, right? When I finally am able to get up to the level, or at least close enough to the level that they acknowledge I exist, I'll have ambition and fight, and people are going to see that, and people are going to admire that, and maybe we can collab. You know, they have the views, they have the stats, they have the power, and I have the ambition. We collab, we come together, and it's great. You know, it's a win-win situation for everything. I bring the ambition and the tech skills, and you bring whatever you brought to the table to get your 6,000 Instagram followers. I mean, it's amazing, and you know, we could team up. All right. Anyway, speaking of the pumpkin patch match dance, I want to show you what I'm talking about. Right, this is the. This is a thing someone's basically simulating what a television show would be like in the early 2000s. This is someone simulating what the a TV show in the early 2000s would be like. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I have to use artificial intelligence for, right? What am I supposed to find these people, okay? Here's an example. Matt, here we go.
DJ Tanner is about to pick me up for the pumpkin patch match dance.
Probably only asked you.
And just notice here, just to be able to get that one shot, I have to go find some random kid. You know how hard it is to find some random kid like that? Extremely, extremely hard. Okay, so Sora over here, when they finally come over to Android, would be very helpful. Okay, maybe I could be him, but I still have to be the person he's.
He feels bad for nailing you in the face with a dodgeball the other day in gym class.
I've never seen a ball ricochet off of somebody's face into the hoop before. It was epic.
Oh, also, I need to hire someone to be the cameraman. So what I'm seeing here is just a lot of work and a lot of people that I do not have, and things that I cannot do, and they're not going to magically and majestically spawn out of thin air. So that is another benefit for artificial intelligence.
Whatever, dweebs. You two are just jealous no girl has ever said yes to going to the dance with you two before.
Please, like we would ever go to some stupid pumpkin smash bash dance.
It's called the Pumpkin Patch Match Dance, not whatever that was. Anyway, I'm gonna go wait outside before you two get the chance to embarrass me.
Trust me, you don't need us to embarrass you. You'll do a great job at that on your own.
Also, think about the script. Think about the scripting. ChatGPT, you know, could have done that now. ChatGPT has been acting so weird. So I do my own personal edits as well. But think about how much faster I could do this if I had access to this technology, rather than having to go out there and pay thousands of dollars and hit nothing. But let's say I paid $1 million. We aired an ad at the Super Bowl, and at the Super Bowl we get 3 people. That is millions of dollars in debt just to take this. Like, I mean, okay, no.
Are you only won because I lost?
That's kind of how it works.
Josh, weren't you supposed to be at the pumpkin patch dance like an hour ago?
He never showed up. I can't
Wait,
believe I'm so stupid for actually thinking he liked me.
There's no rewind, so.
No way.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
That we show up to his house and make him pay by stealing his dog?
No. But hold that thought.
M'lady.
What are you two doing?
You seriously didn't think we'd let you miss the pumpkin spice rice dance because some loser didn't
Pumpkin
show up for
spice rice dance.
you, did you?
It's called the... Never mind. You two are the best.
We know. Now let's go. I have a dance battle to get into.
Also, in the next episode, his excuse is that his grandma was sick and his dog stole his phone and his toddler went missing. It is the most long, convoluted excuse of all time. And I can't believe that they actually fell for that, if it's actually true.